I am slowly catching up with all the new cinema, and I've finally been to see California Scheming, so let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about California Schemin. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. I've finally been to see it. Before we start talking about it, as always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you go and see it. You might see it, feel totally differently to me. That is okay. Movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, let's start talking about this film. And I actually missed out on seeing an advanced screening of this, which I was a bit gutted about. But I finally managed to get into seeing it. There's been so much out in the cinema recently that I've been trying to tick it all off and basically seeing films not based on how much I want to see them, just what screening time suits me the best. And I finally got into seeing this. And I really enjoyed this film. Don't get me wrong, it is by no means like a 10 out of 10 extraordinary film, but it does what it says on the tin. It's enjoyable, and it's based on a true story, which I always think enhances a movie for me. Obviously, we can't make every movie based on a true story, but I think the fact that this film is based on real life events just makes it all that more interesting, because I'm sort of watching it going, holy crap, like this actually happened. And I don't know, I find that really wild. The two guys, I believe, are Scottish. I presume they are Scottish in real life. So the fact that they're in and out of an American accent, Scottish American, I think is pretty cool. And I've done some accent work. I'm not an accent specialist, shall we say, but I've done some accent work, and I know how hard it is to be able to switch from accents like that, you know. So a lot of time and effort goes into that. So I do applaud the two leading guys for that. But this is a fun film. At times, I thought the acting was a little bit corny, but I enjoyed it. I really did. And I thought this is a really good example of a film that does have more than just this entertaining story. I found it to have a lot of deeper meanings and messages behind it. I think one of them, it doesn't go into too much detail, but it does touch base, and it does briefly kind of show you the effects of alcohol abuse and drugs and all of this sort of stuff. And I think these movie reviews are a good kind of place to talk about how movies affect me and impact me. I'm very much, I don't drink, not because I look down on people that drink or anything like that, but I just, don't like fizzy drinks, and I don't like the idea of being drunk and stuff like that. So it's no shade on anyone that drinks, by the way, before you come at me for that. But I don't drink, and I don't do drugs or anything like that, and I'm kind of very anti-drugs in me. Obviously, it's illegal for the most part of drugs, but, you know, a lot of it still happens day to day. And I think this is a good message and a good film to kind of show what can happen when you use and abuse drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. So I think it's really nice to see kind of a very short glimmer into kind of a reality check of what can happen with the overuse of drugs and alcohol. I'm going to leave that there. But I do think it's always nice when films have deeper meanings. And I also think not a deeper meaning, but a very obvious meaning for this film is just the value of honesty and lying. You know, at the end of the day, lying is always going to get caught out, you know, whether it's on something like this scale that's really just an extraordinary lie, or, you know, just day to day. I think it's a really good message of just be honest. Do you know what I mean? Just be honest, because at the end of the day, no lie is worth losing your friends and family for. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's got some really nice messages, you know, and I think ultimately that is why I enjoyed it, because I enjoy these films that have not even hidden meanings, just more than just what is put on the plate in front of you. Do you know what I mean? So I really, really enjoyed that. I think that's kind of what made me enjoy this film much more. But yeah, the fact that it is a true story is pretty mind-blowing for me. And, you know, I'm actually kind of going to disagree with the end of the film when it comes to you shouldn't have lied. I obviously agree with you shouldn't lie, but I think it's kind of incredible the fact they got away with it for so long. So maybe that goes against everything I've just said, but I don't know. I found it pretty cool that they got away with it for so long. Not that I'm suggesting anybody should do something like this, because they shouldn't, be honest. But I do think it was pretty wild, the fact that that was true and that actually happened. So yeah, I enjoyed it. California Schemin. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. As always, before I wrap up, what do I rate out of 10? Will it join my collection? I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Will it join my DVD collection? Possibly. Again, it's one of those films that I wouldn't say no to having it in the collection, but it is one of those films that I kind of have watched. I don't need to have I don't have a big desire to rewatch it anytime soon, so possibly it may join my collection sometime in the future, because I know it's getting a DVD and Blu-ray release here in the UK. So there you go, there's my thoughts on California Schemin. Like I say, in cinemas across the UK right now. In the description below is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. More to come soon, and I shall see you in another video, and hopefully one of those movie reviews very soon.